Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. Okay, so before we get started, we did have a winner for our Avenger Titan giveaway, but unfortunately he has not contacted us yet. So Joshua A, if you are there, if you are listening, then you need to get in contact with us pretty soon, because I will be redrawing this competition on the Sunday afternoon, GMT. So yeah, definitely the minute you see this, get contacting us. But if it's after Sunday, man, I'm sorry, but you're gonna miss out. And I think that's pretty much it, so let's get started. Okay, so first up we've got a post from Odoacre Barber Murder, which is the best name I've ever said, I think. And it says, applause to CIG. This is top level prestidigitation.
Yep.
How do you say that word? Prestidigitation. Things disappear from the roadmap and nobody knows where they end up. So this is basically pointing at the fact that so much stuff was removed from the roadmap and has been pushed beyond 4.0, but we can't see where. And so, in all intents and purposes, it's gone for now. And that's pretty much it. That is the moan, I think. I take it. I suppose preface. This video is recorded before the most recent roadmap is actually released. So fingers crossed that doesn't come out and go, oh, by the way, here's all the stuff you're missing, because this will be moot. But yeah, it is quite annoying, you know, the amount of stuff they've removed and basically gone, meh.
Yeah. I don't think it would really be moot as such, because the stuff did still go missing from the roadmap at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
That happened, and that was fact. The bigger question is, I think we've said this before. I can't remember if it was in another post or if it was on stream, or I know there's a few people in our Discord have been talking about this as well. But with the staggered development going on, why do things get moved around so much still? That's the big question, I think. And it would be really nice if we got some kind of response from CIG about that.
Agreed. The thing that confuses me as well is, so there's a comment actually, the top comment from Orion Pilot that basically says the point of a roadmap is to align resources to the commits being made. So he's saying in his job a roadmap is a commit. You know, you commit to this happening at a certain time. The idea of a roadmap is that you don't keep moving stuff around, because how the hell do you plan if your roadmap keeps moving? I have it in my job. So we might have a production of a particular thing going out, and we have a roadmap for the rollout. And if I kept changing that every 2 minutes, I'd get sacked. It's just, it's not how roadmaps work, because if you keep changing a roadmap, how does anyone know where they're going? So that's kind of the point of that. And I agree entirely. I just think that the roadmap is currently just I want to say like a facade. I think that a lot of it does get done, but I think that a lot of it, I'd say 50% of it, is put on there as a facade to kind of hide the fact that maybe they're not entirely sure what they need to do next. I don't know. It's scary. It is a scary thing to look at when stuff just goes bing, gone. You know. Yeah.
Well, if staggered development is actually a thing, then they would have been working on this stuff for like 4 or 5 months. We've said this before, you know. So why is it moving? We don't, you know, we get sort of vague explanations, but nothing actual concrete. And CIG's roadmap. I take that name as a very loose term for them. It's more of a wish list in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, they've always moved things around on this thing, and it doesn't look like staggered development's even going to stop that.
No, I think the only thing that is staggered is all the people that look at the roadmap on a weekly basis. They're staggered by just how much changes. Yeah, but yeah, no, staggered development. The idea of that was that they'll be able to, you know, obviously commit to certain things and have the time to push them out, and then they're still not having the time. So do they need to stagger it more? Do they need more people? I mean, surely they could afford more people if they needed it. All they need to do is bring out another straight to flyable and they're good to go. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. Staggered doesn't appear to be working, but I don't want to poo-poo it too much because it's new. I mean, we'll only be technically in the second stagger since they announced it.
Yeah,
so
we should have started seeing some kind of benefits from it by now, but it just doesn't seem to be happening. I think at this point, the best policy is to look at the next patch coming up and try to ignore the next 2-3 patches in the future, because whatever's on there is gonna move.
Yeah. Cool, so next up we've got a post from Rakanox, and it says, frustrating start for new players. And I'm going to read a bit of this. So recently he watched a few streams of new backers who play in the game for the first time. And I'm going to read most of this actually because it actually reads really well. This is exactly what you see. So they start in Area 18 or Lorville, one of the big frustrating areas. First question, player, how can I spawn my ship? Chat, you need to go to a spaceport. How do I get to a spaceport? You need to take a bus. Where can I find the bus? Etc. Etc.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and you've, I mean, we've had it before where I can't remember what bloody platform I'm on, and I've got people telling me. But can you imagine people trying to direct someone around Area 18 who has no idea what they're doing?
Yep.
That is just terrifying. So that's the kind of problem. You know?
I can imagine that being extremely frustrating, and I think we've even spoke about this on stream before about how confusing it could be. There's been a couple of times I've seen questions in general chat while I'm playing the game, and I start to sort of type a response, and I think, hang on a minute, this is going to be a whole paragraph to explain where this thing is and how you get there. It's just a bit of a nightmare for new players, and we've actually got a couple of ideas for upcoming videos about how we can sort of showcase this, and should be quite entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. And the kind of point of the post really is what Rakanox is saying is, why not just have, you can see it in the image, basically a highlight over Port Olisar that basically says it's highly recommended that you start here, you know, if you're a new player, because it is going to be the easiest way to find your footing in the game. Yeah. It's the smallest area to start in. But I mean, that doesn't fix the problem of like, how do I start my ship? How do I do this? You know, there's a lot of things which you don't really know, and you will just have to read stuff. But I think the thing that bugs me the most is if you read the comments in this one, which I rarely do, but occasionally it'll catch my eye and I think, no, I'll scroll a bit. So Zanubi says, and yet on robertspaceinjuries.com, just a little way down, there's a guide for new players. Also, anyone who does not even watch a video first may be too dumb for this game. So Rakanox comes back, and I fully commend you, my friend, because it's normal that people go to the website of a game to read a manual before they install and start the game. No, usually people install a game, double click the shortcut icon, and the fucking way they go, you know, because they're excited to play a game. You don't want to read a fucking manual before you play a game. And no, everyone's arguing and basically saying this game is not like other games, you know, you need to learn stuff. No. This game is exactly like every other game, it's just being developed. That shouldn't make it harder to play from the start, you know? So, no, I don't agree with that, and I think that he's absolutely right. This game is a nightmare for new players, and they do need to kind of work on that, especially if they're going to do free flies, where you've got random people just coming on board for a week. You know, scary. Yeah,
it must be a really frustrating experience for them. It's good that they've now got this guide system in the game. For anyone who hasn't seen it, you can request a guide to show you how to play certain aspects of the game, which is really good. And again, we've got a video idea to sort of show some of that off. But yeah, it's a frustrating experience, and I'm glad that we kind of know what we're doing in the game now.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, I mean, there's still things I don't know, and because sometimes they change the key bindings and, you know, random stuff, a lot of the times I actually ask on stream. I'll just say, how do I do that? You know, but I think the problem as well is it's one of those games where a little bit, maybe a little bit like Elite Dangerous. Now, I've been told, because I've never played the game, but I've been told that Elite Dangerous is very, very complex in its controls, and you genuinely have to spend some time learning them, you know, if you want to know how to do everything in your ship. But I think that there should be easier ways to do that in Star Citizen. rather than just reading what looks like a key binding page. You know what I mean? I don't know. There needs to be. I know they've got, and we don't have them on anymore. They've got tool tips, but I think maybe what they need is you press escape. There's a little help section, and there's just kind of how-tos, really short and simple. How to start your ship, how to do this, just on the game, ready to learn. You know, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Two problems we've got at the moment is that the actual official videos that they put out of like how to start in the verse, some of that information's already out of date. And they're not going to keep making those videos to keep it up to date.
No.
So yeah, if someone doesn't actually go looking for stuff on YouTube, then it's going to be partly guesswork anyway.
Yep.
The other problem is we got some, like you say, some sort of tooltip things that come up on the bottom of the screen. But I actually put them on the other day to sort of just check them out, and they actually fly by quite quickly. If you're not really paying attention to them, like if you're actually making your way to your ship or trying to get into your ship, you could possibly miss something, and that could be important information that you really need to know.
Yeah, and it's just gone. Yeah, it's like it could be just important information that you've missed now. So it seems a bit of a they tried and they've been in there from day dot, but I think what they should probably do is they should take on board like 2 or 3 hardcore, I want to call them Illuminatis, avocados, someone that can, every time something changes in game, they've got access to change it in the little in-game help file. Just that, and have just an elite group of people who just do that. I'll guarantee they'd do it for free, so there's a million ways. Okay, so next up we've got a post from Shui, and it says, quite disappointed with ISC, which is, if you're not familiar, Inside Star Citizen. And basically the long and short of this is, over the past few weeks at least, the episodes have been sort of quite short. You get all these breaks in between, and when they do finally have something, it's not super interesting, or maybe it's just a little too dense. They pick one really nerdy subject and then they'll spend a long time on it, which can be difficult when you just want to see what's going on in the game. But he also said here, there's one on Q&A, and what a producer does, and he's saying what would be next, an entire episode on accounting and tax optimization, which is I could see it happening. They're running out of stuff to show us because they don't want to show us what's actually going on in the game. Basically, that's what it feels like to me, anyway.
Yeah. The last one was extremely disappointing. It was was that the producer one? I think. I can't even remember now. I kind of forgot about it about 10 minutes after I finished watching the video. It was just, there's nothing in it. It was like really nothing to it.
Yeah.
I missed the ones from a year ago, 2 years ago, when you actually saw things that were being made and put in the game in the next patch. Whatever happened to those?
Yeah. Even as little as 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, maybe they were doing those ones where they were showing you how they'd make a crime scene and doing it. It was fun stuff. It may not have technically been showing you the development of something new, but they were showing you the tools they used, and that's cool. But we've kind of lost even that, which is a shame.
That was the Star Citizen Live, wasn't it?
It was a Star Citizen Live. That weren't even an Inside Star Citizen, of course. Yeah, I'm forgetting. I'm like, see, they're boring as shit, and I'm just forgotten what they are all about. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, most of the cool things I'm thinking of are Star Citizen Live because they have more time. Maybe, I don't know. It's weird.
I don't get it really. With all the features coming up in 3.9, they could at least show one of them. I think this week we're going to see the prison gameplay apparently, but I'd be interested to see how much they show of it. Yeah,
definitely. And just to point out that again, we record this just before, like a few hours before Inside Star Citizen is released, so you never know, this one might be amazing, and again we're kind of talking about the older ones. But yeah, I think the other thing that gets me with Inside Star Citizen is they try too hard to do funny things outside, like with Jared and city people walking around, and like they try and be funny in the presentation, and it doesn't work, and then all it does is drag out, and you kind of think that was a wasted 4 minutes that we could have had more content,
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, a lot of the times I skip through them because there's just nothing in there that grabs me, and that is a shame for a game that's got so much on the roadmap, so much going on, and they can't show us one thing that they're developing. They have to kind of just give us filler, and it's a real shame, and it does it makes you a little disheartened. But I'm pretty confident that once they have something new to show us, it's going to be amazing, like you said, prison gameplay. But for now, it just feels a little bit kind of shoehorned in just to keep us quiet, really. Cool, so last up we've got a post from Tomato, and it says, when will CIG address the #1 question on most backers' minds? And that question is, when is this game going to be released? Basically, that's what everyone wants to know, apparently. I mean, I'm sure there are a lot more things we want to know, but yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have an indication. And the reason that Tomato's annoyed is because there's such a mix of people who believe different things. So you've got some people who believe that this game's going to be released in like 18 months, which is wishful thinking, but that would be nice, but definitely not. And then you've got, like, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got people who are considering, like, 12 years. Do you know what I mean? Which is believable as possible. But apparently most people's kind of the overall is sort of between 2.5 and 4.5 years before it's released. And I'd say that's probably about right. But the moan here is that at no point does CIG even give you any indication. And I know that's a safety feature for them, but even if they said it's going to be 15 years, at least we know, we know how to plan and prep for it. At the minute, we're like, it feels like it could be never. Do you know what I mean? So it's got Tomato a bit annoyed. I mean, do you feel like a weird, I don't know what the word would be, like it's like with the roadmap where they don't want to commit to much? Mm-hmm. Do you feel that they do the same thing with this? Try not to sort of say anything in case they can't live up to it, maybe. Oh
yeah, massively. They've thrown some dates out before and they've completely shot over those ones.
Yeah,
they know if that they come out and honestly said, okay guys, we're probably going to have beta in 6 years, release maybe 8 years. They know that the gaming community and the gaming media would rip them apart. It's one of those kind of no-win situations. If they say, it's going to come out in a couple of years, and then they miss it again, they're going to get crucified for it. Yeah. If they say it's going to take a long time, they're going to get crucified for it. It doesn't matter what they say, it's going to be wrong no matter what. And that's just a really bad situation for them to be in and for us to be in.
Oh yeah. Definitely, you're not wrong. I think that there are creative ways that they could get around that, and that is by maybe rather than saying this game's going to be released 2026, they can say our current aim is 2026, but they can do a bit like the roadmap. So let's say in 2024 they have to push that back. They let us know. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it's a bit like the roadmap in that we're aiming for 2000, whatever, but it's looking likely it's going to be this. They could get away with that and maybe not take too much fire, but yeah, it is kind of scary because people are still throwing loads of money at this game with absolutely no idea if this will even come out, let alone when, so yeah, it's just a strange one.
I'm sure we will get some kind of indication at some point, probably, once Squadron 42 is out. They might say, okay, we're kind of aiming for a beta in 3 years.
Yeah.
The PU. As kind of Tomato's kind of indicated in his post as well, we don't really know quite what that's going to look like, the initial release or the beta. Is it going to be 10 systems? 20? Who knows?
Yeah.
We could probably get by with 5 systems to start with. and then they can incrementally release new ones as they go. There's enough game space there. I suppose it really depends on how many players they're going to get on the server by that point. But I don't know. Yeah, when we do get a view of what beta's going to look like and when it's going to be, then it'll be an interesting time.
Yeah, definitely. And there's some going off tangent a little bit here. There's some interesting kind of comments, and they were saying that, you know, when this game is released, obviously all of the money that they've been receiving is going to go. It's going to disappear. So, you know, people are now talking, is there a possibility this is going to go the route of like WoW and other games where they take a monthly subscription? I mean, what do you think of that? Do you think that is a possibility that they could go down that route, you know, and have people pay monthly to play? Or do you think that they're going to have... I can't remember if they've ever said that will never happen.
I think they said that would never happen.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah. I don't think they would do that. I think they'd make enough money by sort of releasing skins and cosmetics,
that's true.
For backers or players to sort of purchase with real world money. And I'm pretty I'm not sure about the whole selling UEC thing, but I'm pretty sure they said that they were going to do that anyway. I think they'll make enough money, enough revenue off like cosmetics and things like that on their store. Then I don't think we'd need a subscription type thing.
No, and if all else goes, you know, if all else fails, you go down the EA route and you just go loot boxes.
Loot boxes. Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative or amusing. If you did like them, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And if you have any opinions on any of the topics that we've spoke about this evening, then definitely leave us a comment in the comment section down below. You know, we love to hear your side, your take on this. You know, if you have a good enough point, then I will come back and moan at you. So yeah, do your best. But I think that pretty much covers it for this week. So yeah, thanks everyone very, very much for watching. Joshua A, don't forget, you've got like about 12 hours before you lose out on that Avenger. So pull your finger out, boy. And that's it. Thanks very much everyone for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.